A very good morning, distinguished guests, business leaders, and innovators. I'm Vanessa Haripersad, founder and CEO of Shankara People Solutions, a leadership development and coaching business. I'm also a strategy coach and resilience coach. It is an honor to join you today at the celebration of excellence, where we recognize the resilience, vision, and impact of leaders who shape our world. This is my profile, a little bit about myself. I am the current country chair for South Africa for transformational leadership and life coaching at Global Change. I sit on 6 global advisory boards and chair one of them. I'm a seasoned imposter syndrome coach practitioner and neuroscience coach, as well as an insights discovery practitioner, sorry. The reason I share this profile is not from a stance of vanity. It is actually a very humbling moment for me, because if you asked me 10 years ago if I would be able to do all of this, I would have probably said no. So this is my story. From an early age, I've always been fascinated by people, curious about what they do, what motivates their behaviors, turning me into a people observer. Yes, a master people observer, an actual position I created for myself. At 22, I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Durban, Westville. I majored in psychology and physiology, much to the disappointment of my dad, because nobody hires scientists. I accidentally found myself in HR in my first job. From there on, it was a lifelong dream fulfilled. For 24 years, I worked around the world with global leaders to create high-performing cultures, incorporating well-being practices, and helping leaders navigate complex issues, managing conflict, team dynamics, and teaching them innovation. My passion for excellence won me both the National HR Awards, Global Health Awards, Transformational Leadership and Mentorship Awards. Throughout my journey, I've realized that one of the biggest challenges facing leaders today is managing stress in the workplace. I'm sure this resonates with you too. So today, I want to talk to you about resilience and the self-aware leader. Self-awareness and resilience is a topic that resonates very deeply with me. When I started in business 24 years ago, resilience was at the tip of everyone's tongue. I always thought that I was a resilient person by nature, that I was born with it, that I could overcome everything. I felt that I could always bounce back from adversity and nothing could keep me down. Like most people, I thought resilience was toughness, hardness, unbreakable, being invincible, bulletproof, always being positive, fearless, never quitting, and definitely never showing weakness. But these are myths. I thought that resilience meant you had to power through without showing emotions, that you had to be unbreakable and have grit all the time, that you had to go it alone and asking for help was a weakness, that you had to be thick-skinned and not show the impact it was having on you, that you had to have endless endurance and control everything. These don't work. This is the story of my personal journey. So what I would like to do is invite you to visualize something with me. I'm not there to actually see, but I'm going to trust that you're going to do it. So I want you to close your eyes and picture this scenario. So it's 2015. You've just started your dream job at a global pharmaceutical company, and you're doing amazing. As a reward, your manager takes the entire team for a spa day. You get relaxing spa massages, and you feel really good. So now you're driving home, your fancy Mercedes Benz. It's a beautiful winter's day, cold on the outside and super cozy warm on the inside. You can feel the heat coming through the cabin and warming the car. You feel good. But suddenly, something doesn't feel right. You feel a slight numbness at the back of your head. Slowly, slowly, it moves until half of your head has no feeling. Suddenly, it's pitch black. Silence. Next thing you hear, noise everywhere. Car horns are blaring, hooting, people screaming. Eyes wide open, terrified, you see a car speeding towards you. You realize you are on the wrong side of the road, facing oncoming traffic. You swerve quickly into the right lane, missing a head-on collision by a couple of seconds. Heart racing, face dripping with sweat, you pull over to the side of the road. You realize something is wrong. You can open your eyes now. That is what happened to me. The months ahead was even worse. Strange symptoms started to appear that no doctors could diagnose. Non-stop digestive issues, mouth ulcers. My teeth enamel started breaking down until I lost a lot of them. I became allergic to everything, gluten intolerant. I couldn't eat and started to lose weight drastically. I started to have sudden brain shocks. Just to give you an idea of what a brain shock was, if you could imagine being shot in the head with a gun and having the bullet explode in the chambers, echoing through your head. Comes on suddenly, quick, terrifying, and goes away just as quickly as it came. My gallbladder was removed. I started to lose all sensation in my feet and my hands. I had to stop driving because I couldn't feel the pedals anymore. 9 months later, I was diagnosed with systemic lupus erythematosus, SLE, or commonly known as lupus. Lupus is an autoimmune condition, debilitating. On average, it takes about 6 years to diagnose someone with lupus because the disease mimics all other diseases. In 2015, when I was diagnosed, I told no one. I didn't want to lose my job. I didn't want all the opportunities of promotion to be taken away from me because of my illness. And so the fight with my disease began. Everything I knew about resilience was wrong. Nothing worked. I couldn't push through the pain. No positive affirmations were working. I didn't know how to be resilient anymore. My curiosity inspired me to change how my organization understood wellness as a whole. I created a wellness team with a person of one, and then a regional team, and became a global ambassador. My campaign, It Starts With Me, became a movement and won a global health award competing with 70 countries. As business leaders, you know that success is not a straight line. It's a journey marked by unexpected challenges, economic shifts, market disruptions, or personal setbacks. Leading through this requires more than sheer grit. It requires a new set of skills, willpower. It demands deep self awareness of who you are, how you respond, and how you adapt. And that is how my personal resilience toolkit was born. I call it the SCCR model, a toolkit for building resilience. On the outer blocks, you can see that self awareness is the foundation of the framework. If you could imagine this being a pool of water, and in the middle, three petals of a flower. The petals are compassion, curiosity, and resourcefulness, which forms the pillars of this framework. These pillars transformed how I led through uncertainty. It became my lifeline, and now it can become your tools to thrive in an unpredictable, uncertain world. You know that heavy feeling when everything goes wrong? Business challenges come out of nowhere unexpectedly. That feeling of helplessness when you ask what happened and you have no answers. Through this, I realized that resilience is not about being unbreakable. It's about being self aware, adaptable, and mostly human. Let's go through the pillars. Compassion. A self aware leader builds resilience by practicing compassion, starting with themselves. In an unpredictable world, when you face setbacks, it's easy for you to say, I should have seen this coming. Compassion is the last thing that you think of. This self criticism, it actually erodes resilience, not builds it. Compassion is not self pity. Compassion means acknowledging your struggles without judgment, creating space to learn and grow. With lupus, I had to relearn compassion. One day, I had to cancel a workshop because I could not get out of bed. It scared me. My professional reputation was on the line. I had to first learn to be kind to myself, show self compassion that this is out of my control. I had to listen to my body and then decide what to do. That kindness, it cleared my mind, letting me focus on what I could control. A self aware leader does this. They pause to validate their emotions, then extend that compassion to their team. This fosters a culture where mistakes are growth opportunities, not shame. In business, this builds trust, where members feel safe to innovate when they're supported, not judged, and they're more likely to take risks and stay resilient together. So, how does compassion show up in the workplace? Internally, self leadership allows you to reflect on what has happened. You can journal one compassionate phrase after a setback. You can say, I'm learning and that's enough. This simple statement rewires your mindset for resilience according to neuroscience. With teams, a self aware leader can model vulnerability by sharing a challenge. When you tell a team member, I struggled with this decision too, you become human. You begin to normalize setbacks and encourage open dialogue. In boardrooms, you can create systems like regular check ins that prioritize emotional safety, ensuring members feel valued during uncertainty. The next pillar is curiosity. Self aware leaders build resilience by embracing curiosity. They turn obstacles into opportunities. When business strategy falters, curiosity asks, what can we learn? Instead of, why did this fail? This is a mindset of growth. It sparks innovation and keeps you agile. Lupus forced me to get curious. What triggered my fatigue? How could I lead smarter? My body wasn't a fan of the old push through mentality. That curiosity helped me to redesign my work, to delegate more, prioritizing rest, and made me a better leader because I was able to focus on what truly mattered. In business, curiosity means seeking diverse perspectives, not thinking you have all the answers, not thinking that you're expected to solve all the problems. You can ask members why engagement dropped or what new services they think the customer needs. So, how does a self aware leader show up in the workplace? Internally, they challenge assumptions by asking, what don't I know yet? This keeps them open to new solutions during crises. With teams, they foster a culture of inquiry, encouraging questions like, what's another way to approach this to drive collaborative innovation? In boardrooms, they host forums or surveys to tap into members' insights, to tap into their mind, ensuring that strategies reflect real needs and not outdated plans. The third pillar is resourcefulness. A self aware leader builds resilience by being resourceful, making the most of what's available. When you have stretched budgets that have pivoted during supply chain disruptions, or you had to pull a team together under pressure to meet an important deadline, sometimes it's hard to think of what you have. Resourcefulness isn't about having everything. It's about seeing possibilities in what you already have. With lupus, I had to get creative. When pain forced me to cancel a speaking event, I turned it into a virtual webinar, reaching more people than ever. That's resourcefulness in its simplest form. Using what you have to create impact. In business, what does that look like? It could mean partnering with other leaders, local businesses to boost outreach, using digital tools to engage members. A self aware leader knows their strengths, their weaknesses, and their blind spots. And they use this to leverage success when navigating uncertainty. So, how does resourcefulness show up in the workplace? A self aware leader internally will audit their skills and network, asking themselves, how can I use what I have differently to find creative solutions? With teams, they empower their team members to share hidden talents, creating a safe space for people to explore their strengths, like using a staff member's social media skills to solve problems creatively. In boardrooms, they maximize collective resources, members' expertise, community partnerships to adapt to challenges like funding shortages. So, to end, I want to say that resilience is not about being the toughest in the room. It's about being the most self aware, knowing when to be kind to yourself, when to challenge the status quo, and when to get creative with what you know. My lupus journey has taught me that resilience is personal and is built through small intentional choices. As leaders, these choices ripple outwards, shaping your teams, your business, and the communities you serve. Let's lead with self awareness, one resilient step at a time. Thank you. I have created a resilience reset program, which is 6 weeks. Each session is 90 minutes, where I help high performing leaders manage their stress and well being while still maintaining high performance. If you're interested, these are my details. You may contact me for more. You can scan the QR code to go to my website, www.shankarasolutions.com. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my journey and have a wonderful day further. Thank you.